Ready? Old school. Bless you.
Good to go.
We're on.
All righty. Good evening, everyone. It is now 7:28. Thank you for your patience during the technical audio difficulties, but I guess it's good we learn something new every day. So, Melissa, if you could give us a roll call, please.
Commissioner Jessica Berry.
Here.
Commissioner Bob Berry.
Here.
Commissioner Gribble.
Here.
Commissioner Jones.
Here.
Commissioner Setzer.
Here.
Commissioner Simpson is absent, and Commissioner Young.
Here.
All right. We will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty. Guess howbeit we don't know if we don't have any public tonight, so we will move past public comments and we will head straight into presentations. We have Mr. Iki, so we will let you take over from here, Mike.
I appreciate it, and I just want to check everyone can still hear me okay.
Yes.
Perfect, good. Want to thank the chair and want to thank the Arts Commission for inviting me and Ms. Harmer for giving me the opportunity to talk about the upcoming comprehensive plan and strategic planning. This also kind of serves as my official invitation to everyone at the Arts Commission to our upcoming community conversation on Tuesday, February 24th at 6 p.m. If you have been part of our past community conversations, you know they are kind of these fun events where we really get to dive into what the city's been doing the last couple of years, and it really helps get some feedback from residents on specific projects, as well as kind of some broader topics about, you know, what is it that makes Raymore home to, the 21,000 residents that live here. One of the great things about the community conversations in the past, we partnered with the University of Kansas Public Management Center, as well as this group that allows us to really bring kind of a high-tech edge to the typical, sit around the table, talk about, what are the highlights, what are the things we can work on, and then you put them on a big whiteboard. So if you've been a part of them in the past, we still break everyone out into the small groups. We ask some very focused questions about a variety of different topics, and then we actually have someone who inputs that directly into a computer system that they use to then create a variety of themes and things, and then you get to vote and rank those priorities there that same night. And so it really kind of takes just a typical table conversation and puts a little data behind it, creates a great report that we then use to build the foundation for our strategic plan. And that's where this kind of takes a little bit of a different turn than in the past. Typically, we've used these just to build the strategic plan. Council then looks at the strategic plan and the data that comes from the community conversations, and we kind of go forward from there. The council, once it gives its blessing, staff turns around and starts building programs and plans based on that strategic plan. What's going to be a little different this year is this community conversation and the strategic plan that we're building is kind of the start of a broader grouping of plans. And so we are really diving into not just the strategic plan, but the land management plan, our growth management plan, the road master plan. I mean, just about every forward thinking or future plan that we have currently at the city, we're going to be taking a look at in 2021 and updating it, reconfiguring it to match and to really coincide with the new strategic plan and the updated strategic plan that we're going to be diving into later this month at the community conversation. And so I believe the chair has a copy of kind of the first steps in what that strategic plan and that whole comprehensive planning process is going to look like. And if you get a chance, I know all the other commission members will also be getting a copy of that notebook. You'll notice there's a 8.5 by 11 spreadsheet that shows kind of a Gantt chart of every single individual plan that we're going to be going through. And there's probably about 24 plans that staff is going to be going through. And it shows, when those start dates will be, when we plan on having those wrapped up. But where the Arts Commission really comes in, and I know in the past, the Arts Commission has had a really strong kind of a cultural arts planning and a public art planning process. This is going to be a good opportunity to take that plan that originated back in 2015 and really update it and take stock of what currently the community has, and then build on some of the strengths that the commission has really taken forward and push forward into what you envision for new public art spaces, what you envision for the overall performing arts, as well as just kind of the cultural arts as a whole. Again, the opportunity that we have here is we also know Parks and Recreation is going to be going through an almost identical planning process. And so this is a good time, as well as like our community development department. So this is going to be the ideal time for the commission, as well as Ms. Harmer as your staff support, to engage all of those departments that the commission touches throughout the year, and really have a deep dive conversation about what could we be doing differently, what could we be doing to support your department, what could we be doing that might help build on even further successes. And so that's kind of where we are right now. We're still taking the first steps. The community conversation later in February is going to be the first big meeting that's going to set the stage for that future planning process. And then we're going to have a second community conversation as staff wraps up the specific and kind of the technical plans, so that we can show those draft plans to the community and say, are there holes in these plans? Are there areas that maybe we missed? Get some more feedback. And then we're planning even later, hopefully sometime come October, November, for a third kind of sit down conversation with the community, to where we'll be able to present the entirety of all of these plans from day one at the first community conversation all the way to its completion. And again, want to make sure that we're getting residents' voices in there, that the folks who really are going to be affected by these plans, that they're going to be able to have some say in it. So really wanted to engage all of the boards and commissions early. Wanted to let you know kind of what we are planning as we move forward from just like a timeline standpoint, but also wanted to give you the opportunity to ask some questions. And also wanted to take this time to officially invite you to the community conversation on February 23rd, either as a participant at one of the tables, or to help lead one of the tables if you're feeling comfortable. And if you've been through some of these conversations in the past, you kind of know how they go. If you would feel comfortable with an iPad or a laptop, kind of taking some of that feedback, recognizing that it's kind of a new flavor with the community conversation, because we are going to be doing it completely virtual. So we won't be doing it in person, but everything being virtual, we're still getting I think we have about 55 right now signed up, even before we've really started pushing out a lot of information about it. But that's really my presentation. Certainly open to any questions and feedback, and hopefully we'll be back for you guys to keep Arts Commission, as well as many others, engaged in the process.
Did anybody have any questions? Go ahead, Bob.
Just a quick question. Is there a participation cap because of the virtualness of it all? Are you limited to 300, 150? What is it? Or do you have one?
So from a technology standpoint, we really don't have a limit, but because we want to make sure that we have enough folks at least trained up and ready to lead those table conversations, we're going to cap it at 200. Because we, in the past, it's been real easy. We can maybe squeeze a few extra folks into a table, or folks can kind of share. But because we're doing the digital version of the community conversation, we want to make sure we have at least 20 table monitors slash conversation facilitators that they'll be ready to do that on a Zoom call.
Anybody else have any questions? All right, well, Mike, thank you for your presentation. You're always welcome to join us anytime. So thank you. I
I
appreciate
missed you all, so it's nice to be able to pop back in from time to time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike.
All righty, have a good night, all.
Okay, we will move on to committee updates. Bob, I'll let you take over with the update from the Public Art Committee.
Thanks. We had a quick meeting last Thursday, basically just taking care of some odds and ends. We talked a little bit, we got an update about the sculpture from the artist, and I'm sure some of you guys have probably seen that in the emails. We talked a little bit about summer scene. It's going to be, from what I understand, late July this time. We were talking about what that would look like, and just spitballing, doing a little bit of thinking. What could we see with restrictions probably still in place. We did talk a little bit about the upcoming community conversation that's going to be here in late February. And we also discussed, we do have a couple of possible music concert opportunities that are coming up from a couple of different avenues, but nothing really to say, yes, we're definitely, this is coming, it's going to be close to this. These are just things that we're hearing. And lastly, we talked a little bit about there's a new Little Free Library book exchange that's getting built. I don't know if it's getting built right now, Melissa, or if it's getting about to be built or has already been built, but it's basically an opportunity for us to perhaps help them with this endeavor if we wanted to in a later meeting. But that's it. That's what I have for the last Thursday's meeting.
All right. Did anybody have any questions for Bob? All right, Bob, I appreciate it. All right, we will move on to staff reports. Melissa, if you want to give us a budget update, please.
Good evening. We have so far spent $700 actually out of our fiscal year 2021 budget. 464 of that is only because when we ordered our branded colored pencils to go with the coloring books, the company forgot to bill us until December. Or actually, I think they just billed us in December. So, and then the other money that I sent was just kind of in promoting our holiday light contest and our even some of our advertisements for this holiday sing-along. Facebook doesn't bill them until the very end of the month, and they don't get on my bill until the next month. So anyway, basically promotions and then those colored pencils, but still we certainly have plenty of funds left out of our $20,000. That is really all I have for a budget update. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
All righty, thank you, Melissa. We will move on to the consent agenda. I believe the only thing that we have for this month is approving November's meeting minutes. I hope everybody's had a chance to do a quick review. So if I could have a motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
Sorry.
Oh, we got to do roll call. Okay, sorry, Zoom rules, guys. Sorry. So we will do a roll call for this vote. Okay. All right, so could I have a motion to approve the November meeting minutes, please?
So moved.
And a second?
Seconded.
All right, we will do a roll call for approval. Bob, we will start with you.
Yay. Yes.
Pat?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Cole?
Aye.
And Jessica?
Yes.
All righty, that passes unanimous.
And Lauren.
Oh, and myself, I approve. Sorry, guys. That passes unanimously. Okay, so we don't have any unfinished or really new business at this time. So we will move on to commissioner comments here. Bob, I will let you lead off again.
Thanks. It's good to see everybody. And other than that, I have no comments. Thanks.
Okay, Pat?
Yes, I had a chance to talk with Mark Drake. Mark Drake is president of the American Legion Band. They came out and played in December in a cold rain at the amphitheater, and they had a really good time. And they're not kidding. These guys will go play in rain and everything else. I've played in a couple of these where our horns froze up and stopped playing. These guys will play in anything, but they really did, and they appreciated the invitation, the chance to play, and they thought the amphitheater was great, and it'll be even great if they can come back sometime and it's not raining. I was the only person allowed into the Christmas Carol event that was live. I took some pictures of the Big Empty, me and the Big Empty. And afterwards, I had a talk that it really worked pretty well. We were able to do things pretty well for a first-time thing with live requests. And we talked about doing a second one since there's concern with some people that they're still at work. You know, we had set this in a late afternoon thing, primarily aimed at seniors, but to then run one later and again have it open live and requests, but you could do it virtually. So if we're still doing this in December, we could do that, but we could do it 2 times, different songs, different age groups, but we just talked about it, didn't know if the commission had any interest in doing that, but since they got the one that worked pretty well, and we didn't get anybody too upset about not getting in and getting their song, we thought maybe that's the thing to do. Thanks.
Thank you, Mel. Jim, did you have anything?
No, sir, don't.
All right, Mr. Young.
So yeah, just wanted to hit briefly on the American Legion Band thing. I know we attended. It was a miserable October night, I think, to put it mildly. But you know, thinking about that and just thinking about kind of what Mr. Eakey said earlier, I think is hopefully we come out of this, you know, having these events. I think we're going to see a better turnout than we've ever seen before, just with people wanting to do something, anything to be around people, and the more we can do, the more we can do for the community, the better with these kind of things.
Thank you, sir. Hi, Jessica. Did you have anything? Okay. No comments. Thank you. I will just say, guys, start putting on your thinking caps again. We will approach our planning process like we approached last year, you know, and then as things begin to open up, you know, hopefully that gives us an opportunity to maybe just take our plan and just move it outdoors for those events that we are, you know, talking about. So we obviously haven't spent any money and we have some money to spend. So, you know, definitely start, you know, let's put on our creative thinking caps and, you know, we can kind of start planning some things. We'll look at doing a work session either next month or in April so that we can kind of sit down as a collective and kind of talk through this process and just kind of start putting some stuff together. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see what Leslie's been working on, and I know it's hard to see an unfinished project, but from what I can see, it actually looks pretty cool so far. So I'm actually excited to see what the finished project looks like, and but I think it's going to turn out really well. So did anybody else have any questions or comments? Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, Pat.
A question. How do we sign up for the community conversation?
Go to www.raymore.com/community. And there's an RSVP button where you just put in your basic information and you're added to our list.
Thanks.
And if I'm not mistaken, Melissa, it's on our Arts Commission page, right?
Yes, I have the Arts Commission as one of the hosts of the event actually too. So you can find it that way as well.
Yeah, so I mean, for anybody that is on Facebook, you can probably just go there, click the link. It'll get you right there. I know I've signed up, so I encourage you guys to sign up too. At the very least, it allows us to kind of hear what the rest of the community is looking for. So kind of gives us a good gauge and helps us with our planning too. So, anybody have anything else? Okay, well, Jessica, thank you for joining us for, I guess this is a little bit different. We've muddled through the COVID waters, and we had a really good year, so I'm expecting kind of the same thing, if not a little bit better, this year. And hopefully as things open up, we can do some more fun stuff out in the public with everybody. So if nobody has anything else, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
And the second.
I'll second.
We need a roll call again, don't we?
Oh, yes. All right, Jessica, I'll let you go first this time. And Cole,
Right.
Jim,
Yes.
Pat,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
and I say yes. Thank you guys. Have a great night. Meeting is adjourned. You guys be safe.
You too.
Good night.